to our distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, it's absolutely fantastic, and your associated teams, a very warm welcome to Oxford. Thank you for making the time to be here and to be just so inspiring to our faculty and to our students. We're absolutely thrilled and honoured that you have taken time out of your very busy schedules to be with us. So thank you so much. And can I start by congratulating the University of Oxford's Africa Society for pulling this whole wonderful conference and event off. I can promise you they are, well, as with all our wonderful students that come from the continent of Africa and the different countries, they are unbelievable and just our proudest product. And they have done your countries proud by their diligence, their fortitude, their unrelenting resilience in trying to extract money from us to make this conference happen. I was so thrilled. As part of the theme was innovation, I tested them about how you need to learn how to raise funds, and it's a good lesson. And wow, they really rose to the challenge and did fantastically well at getting contributions from, as you can see, the list of people here, some of which are internal. So again, my gratitude to Oxford University Innovation and to Oxford Science Enterprises, but a really big shout out to those students. You've just done fantastically. I'm just sorry that this is midterm and it's a very busy time at the moment for a whole host of reasons for me. So I'm unable to be taking 2 full days off and enjoying the conference, but I know that you are all enjoying it, and it's wonderful to be here. Again, thank you to Rhodes House and to Elizabeth Kish, the Warden of Rhodes House, for hosting us in this beautiful new building. So with that prelude, what would I like to say? Well, I think maybe to illustrate the importance of the relationship that we have with Africa, the importance and the value we place in the networks, the collaborations, our desire to work with you as we take on some of those global challenges, whether that's climate change, whether that's around health, which of course has been long-standing through our collaborations. All these different ways that we have wanted to, are continuing and want to do more, I think are illustrated by the fact that for the first year this year, in our annual awards, we decided to create a new category, which was a category that was the Vice-Chancellor's Award for Outstanding Achievement. And that is an award that I can personally pick out of the hundreds of applications of teams that came from all the divisions of the university: humanities, social sciences, medical sciences, physical sciences, our gardens, libraries and museums, people who are in the academic side or the professional services side. And out of all those thousands of entrants and hundreds of teams, the one that I picked was, of course, the Oxford Programme for Africa, AFOX as we refer to it, because it exemplifies everything that I'm most proud of in this university. The capacity to work, again, with great resilience and tirelessly to achieve that purpose and that goal, to work across all branches of the university, so the extent of how they have collaborated and supported and benefited all of our divisions and all aspects of the university, from undergraduate through to graduate through to collaborations, the facilities that they have created and the wonderful mentorship that they give when we host students and now faculty. I have been subject to their persuasive powers too, in my former role as a head of one of the colleges here, in hosting an extraordinary individual, Professor Stephen Kennedy, who came from Liberia and led the Ebola outbreak charge for that country. And what a privilege and honour it was to host him with us here in Oxford in the medical school and in my college for 6 months. So AFOX won the prize, and I think that illustrates again just how valuable we appreciate, and again the very clear presence that we have in terms of our aspirations going forward. Now, this meeting is largely around innovation, and that's something else that we're very good of. I'm not going to go into a long speech about all the wondrousness of Oxford and all the different things we do around our core mission of course, teaching and education, which, of course, is such a huge platform. And again, we wish to continue to develop our graduate scholarships and our programmes, whether it's through the Rhodes Trust, through the MasterCard programme, so that we can be that educational home for students who wish to come and study with us and have the wonderful diplomacy exchange that brings those cultural exchanges between our countries. I'm a very, very passionate supporter that a great role of the universities is not, of course, just to deliver that education and that research taking on the global challenges, but it's to become this home for peoples that they can come from all parts of the world and enrich our environment here, to enrich the student experience from all those different countries, and to learn from each other and take that back. And that's an important and valuable part of that soft diplomacy that all of our great universities, whether in Africa or over here in the West, we wish to, again, remind sometimes our governments about the important role that we play in that regard. This is a wonderful fulcrum and crucible for young people to come and learn about tolerance and inclusion. And it has to begin when they're young so they can take it forward. So again, I will continue, as mentioned, championing my desire for Oxford to be an ever inclusive place, and to again facilitate for those who do wish to come and study here, that there will be no barriers for them in terms of their ambition and their aspiration to come and be with us. Now, in terms of the innovation piece, this is something we talk less about, but I've been talking a lot more about this since I started in my role. I'm a scientist by background. I ran one of the clinical departments in the medical school, and I'm very, very passionate, and I have witnessed the value that universities also can play in driving the economic growth of their countries through the engine room of our discovery. And an increasing appetite that I see from undergraduates, graduates, early career researchers, and our seasoned professors who want to take those translations and spin them out and create spin-out companies, to create licenses, to maybe have an academic career that's a little bit different to the conventional academic career, where they can go in and out more easily in a more porous way between the public university and the private sector. And we have to be facilitatory in the university sector for that model. So this is something, again, that we've done pretty well in Oxford. Just to give you a couple of examples, we spin out about 25 to 30 companies a year here in the university. Over 10 years, we've now spun out 300 companies as of last year. Apparently half of the venture capital money that came to the UK last year came to Oxford. And so we have a thriving entrepreneurial spirit in this university that we are now, I feel, got rocket fuel in, and we're just ready to explode. And again, this is something that I have been talking a lot about in the past 18 months as I started my role as Vice-Chancellor, and I will continue to talk about through the remainder of my tenure, and put actions into words in terms of, again, supporting OUI, supporting OSE, supporting the other investors, the other founders, the local city and the region. The Governor just spoke about the importance of, again, working with local businesses as well as international companies to drive that local benefit to the community and to the country. Britain is at a very interesting place. We're poised, having now just about, I think, felt that we've recovered from the pandemic. But of course, we're now facing the reality of what it means to be Britain outside of Europe. And how does that look? What is our identity? How do we want to take Britain forward in this new, more isolated, if you like, but maybe for some people, a sense of more free way of operating? And the university sector has to be a major part of helping shape that identity, helping the country economically grow and prosper, because that's the phase that we're at a national level. And frankly, without the powerhouse of what is our strong higher education system, which I know you share the views in your own countries, we won't achieve that goal, because we are that engine room of discovery. We've got this wonderful, constant, replenishing pipeline of talent that just arrives every year in the form of our new students. What a wonderful thing that is, if you think about it as a company sort of term. And they're coming through and wanting to have the opportunity to develop their entrepreneurial skills. And we are hopefully increasingly meeting that challenge, whether that's through our Inspire programme or our Ideas programme, where again, we're particularly targeting some of the community who feel that they are not getting access to venture capital funding or investment. And we know that that's particularly problematic for women founders. The statistics are dreadful, if I'm honest with you. It looks a little bit and feels a little bit where academia was 30 years ago in terms of gender balance in that regard. So all of these things we're trying to address, we're trying to change, we're trying to inculcate an environment and an ecosystem in the university that facilitates that desire and appetite and thirst for entrepreneurship and innovation that I see in our undergraduates, graduates, and in our faculty and in our non-professional services staff. and working again with the local community in a more coordinated way, we're really hoping that we can build something here around Oxford in terms of our innovation ecosystem that truly will be spectacular. And I defy anywhere in the world to beat us. I accept the challenge from your countries, but you know, let's work together rather than in competition. So that's just a little bit around the innovation. And so I was particularly thrilled to use some of the funds that I had to support the competition that you're having. I'm very excited to know how those results will play out. And whatever else I can do, again, working with the University Africa Society and with the AFOX programme, I will do everything I can to support the ambition that you have and the aspirations that you set yourselves. And I look forward to hearing the outcomes of your deliberations at the end of the meeting when I catch up with the students and the team towards the end of term. So thank you again for coming to Oxford and participating in this event. Congratulations to the Society and the students for pulling this off. Thank you, distinguished guests, for coming here and spending your time. And I look forward to, again, developing and furthering and deepening those vital connections that we have so that we can collectively, again, take forward those aspirations about economic growth and prosperity for our peoples, but also use that as a vehicle to take on some of those great world challenges we have in the context of health and, of course, climate change. And with that, I'll hand over to the rest of the panel.